Mike
Yeah.
Perry wins again outside the UFC, and probably the greatest career post UFC that any fighter of Mike Perry's level has had. Truly amazing.
Yeah. Mike Platinum Perry looked incredible. It definitely showed how much he has come whenever he went over to bare knuckle. And his style of fighting, it's so bare knuckle style. And watching him and it was just like a perfect style against Nate Diaz and how Nate Diaz is going to approach the fight.
Yeah,
Just
so
mean.
Nate, obviously a skilled boxer. Mike Perry, at this point, the younger guy, clearly carrying more speed, going to carry more power. Nate,
Yeah.
crafty veteran, though Mike's been around at this point. I think the key thing that messed Nate up here is he thought he was going to be safe in the clinch, like he's safe in the clinch in so many times in so many other fights. But frankly, I think the clinch is where Mike Perry does his best work. He is mean with the dirty boxing, and he throws hellacious elbows really quick. 9 fights Mike Perry has had since leaving the UFC. The only loss, Jake Paul. Everyone else he's beaten. That's included Michael Venom Page, Eddie Alvarez, Luke Rockhouse, Thiago Alvarez, Jeremy Stevens, and now Nate Diaz. He has better wins in his post-UFC career than he ever did in his UFC career.
Yeah.
What a I don't even
There's a
know
few
what-
angles to take.
I don't even know what to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, this was the problem I had when I was coming into this podcast. I'm like, there is so much not to talk about the fights that there's so much to talk about outside of the fights. One thing with this fight is like I was saying right before we started. One second,
Yeah, take that.
gotta take my nicotine out. Um, Nate Diaz. What is it? What is it exactly called? I've drawn a blank. The tissue above the eye.
Wow, no. He has scar tissue.
Yeah.
His
Scar tissue. He has really bad scar tissue. Dude, he got cut on the top of his head in like an L shape too. And there was just so much blood coming out, and this has been a problem for I can barely remember the last time I watched a Nate Diaz fight that did not draw blood from his face. Like I think he like one time he rubbed his head against one of the opponents. I think it was a Leon Edwards fight, and it broke open. Him just rubbing his head. It might not have been that fight, but it was one of those fights. That man really should not get back into the ring until he gets that fixed. And if you can't really get that fixed, I don't know what to say. But it is Nate Diaz. He's a lot later in his career. He's starting to show like what we saw with the Nick Diaz's most recent fight. It's just not there. It's not quite there anymore. Nate's not going to go down. Not going to get knocked out. I'll give it to him. He did somehow survive at the end. Got saved by the bell, but very much what we expected from a Nate Diaz fight. I did expect a little bit more. Yeah, I did expect a little bit more.
Bell couldn't save him. Nate Diaz doesn't have bro. If your face is going to bleed like a ripe tomato when it gets flicked, and yeah, clearly he'd mess me up. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's an issue. It's an issue in all of his fights. He becomes a bloody mess. Going back to the Conor fights, he has this issue, and now it's twice in high-level events with the first BMF against Jorge Masvidal, and now in this clearly the people's main event of the first MVP card against Mike Perry. It stops early due to blood loss. In fights he was losing, frankly. He was getting his butt kicked, and then he gets all cut up, and he loses, and his fans come in and they make the case for a rematch. Because, he didn't get knocked out, he just got cut up. And, that's what they're looking like their MVP might be trying to do is Perry Diaz too. And frankly, it's like, I have no interest in it. I have no interest in it.